Hello everyone, my name is Joanna Blunt, and this is a free lesson video about how to diagram sentences. In this video, I will go over sentence structure, word identification, and how to diagram a standard sentence. The main example I will be using in this video is, "The quick brown fox jumped over the big lazy dog." As a small disclaimer, I am a college student majoring in early childhood education, so I am still learning how to teach effectively. If you have any questions, advice, or criticism, please leave a comment. Alright, first thing we want to go over is sentence structure. Because sentences can be long or short, but all sentences must have at least one subject and one verb. If a subject does not have both of those parts, then it is actually just a fragment, not a complete sentence. I could go on and on about incomplete sentences, but I'll save that for another lecture. Right now, let's focus on what a complete sentence is. Let's see. Joanna walked is a complete sentence. This looks awful. I'm so sorry. Okay, so this is a complete sentence, actually. Not lying. This is a complete sentence. How? There's only 2 words. Well, sentences can indeed be this short and still be complete. Let's break it down. Joanna is a proper noun. This is Joanna. This is a proper noun. A noun. The subject. This is the subject of our sentence. And let's see. Walked is an action verb, our verb, the action of our sentence. And that's all a sentence needs to be complete. Now let's start learning how to diagram. When we diagram any sentence, we will always have 2 lines. One long horizontal line for our main words, and a big vertical one to separate the subject from the predicate. That's another term, the predicate. The predicate is just a phrase used to describe the part of the sentence that starts with the verb. So let's start with the subject, Joanna. The subject always goes on the left side of the vertical line, so we'll just put Joanna right here. And now the verb, walked, goes on the right side of the vertical line, so we'll put walked right here. Now, we finished diagramming a complete sentence. Yippee! Now, if only all sentences were so short and simple. Step 2, identifying words. Okay, so now that we've covered basic sentence structure and diagramming, it's time to delve into advanced sentence structure. Why do we need advanced sentence structure, though? Can't we just learn about advanced diagramming now? Well, that is a possibility, but it's not a good idea. I would like to teach advanced sentence structure first, because trying to diagram a sentence without knowing how to identify all the words in it is just a guessing game. Now, the sentence we're going to be working on for the rest of the video is this one. The quick brown fox jumped over the big lazy dog. Okay, so let's start with what we already know first. All sentences have a subject and a verb. So let's find the subject here. Some might guess that the subject is the, because the is the first word. But that's not actually right. The is an article, which describes the subject. Okay, so what about quick and brown? Well, no, neither of those are the subject either. Quick and brown are both adjectives, which, you guessed it, describe the subject. So the next word of the sentence is fox, which is, you guessed it, the real subject. How can we tell that fox is the real subject? The subject has to be the noun that is doing or is supposed to do the action, which is the verb. When we look at the sentence, the next word is jumped. So that's indeed the action verb here. Jumped is the action verb. So let's rewind a little bit on that. The can't have jumped. Quick can't have jumped either. The same goes for brown. It can't jump. But fox can. It can jump. Foxes can jump. Cool facts. Now that we have identified the subject and the verb, let's look at the other parts of the sentence. We already mentioned articles and adjectives earlier. Those are words that describe the subject. The, quick, and brown. But what about the next part of our sentence? Over the big lazy dog. This is where things get a little more complicated. You see, over is an adverb which describes the verb jumped. So we're going to make over this color. The is another article which describes dog, another noun. So let's put this here, put this here. This is our noun. Dog is a noun, but it is not the same as fox, which is our subject. Why is there another noun in the sentence if fox is already the subject? Well, dog is actually the subject of what is called a prepositional phrase. Now, what's a prepositional phrase? That's a little complicated. These are phrases that begin with prepositions like through, for, to, in, on, at, inside, behind, and over. These words signal a relationship between one element and another in a sentence. In this sentence, we have the fox jumping over the dog. In other words, the dog is under the fox. This is a relationship between two nouns, one being in the subject and the other being in the predicate. So, while the words the big lazy are still describing the dog, all four of these words are actually in a prepositional phrase, which started by the word over. And this prepositional phrase is describing the verb of the sentence, jumped. Okay, now that we've covered all that information, we can move on to the next step. Step 3, diagramming. Okay, we have all of our ingredients and their labels now. Let's start cooking up a diagram for our sentence. The quick brown fox jumped over the big lazy dog. The first thing we need to do is the same as we did earlier. Draw a long horizontal line, straight, hopefully, and divide it in half with a big vertical line, also straight, hopefully. Now that we know which word is our subject and which word is our verb, we can put those on there. Fox goes on the left, and jumped goes on the right. But what about these new words? The article the and the adjectives quick and brown. All these words will get their own lines. Remember, these three words are describing the word fox, so we're going to draw 3 diagonal lines under the fox line. So we have this line, and this line. These are supposed to be diagonal, so make them diagonal. I'm not good at that. Alright, then we just write the words on these lines from left to right, the, quick, brown, in the order they appeared in our sentence. So we have the, quick, and brown. These all go under fox because they are describing fox, remember? Awesome. We've already diagrammed the subject tense of our sentence, which is this left side. Now let's move on to the predicate. We already have the word jumped written because it's our verb. This is our verb. But what do we do with the rest of the words? You might be tempted to write over the big lazy dog the same way we wrote the quick brown earlier, all the words being on their own separate lines. However, that's not the case here. We have to diagram the set of words as a prepositional phrase. The preposition over goes on a diagonal line under jumped because that's the verb that over is describing. So we're going to put over here. But the next word we will actually write is dog, not the big or lazy. Why? Because, because, just like the other noun in the sentence, dog is a noun that is being described by the big and lazy. So now we will draw a horizontal line that extrudes out from the end of the diagonal line that over is on. We will write dog on this horizontal line. This is what I've already written. And it's diagrammed this way because over is directly referencing dog. Finally, we will do the same thing with the, big, and lazy that we did with the, quick, and brown in the beginning. Under the line we made for dog, we will draw 3 diagonal lines that extrude from dog. Hopefully these look diagonal. I can't really say they do. And this is where we will put the, big, and lazy. This is done this way because those 3 words describe dog. And let me just draw this real quick. The is an article which describes fox, quick also describes fox, and brown also describes fox, which is why they are all under fox. And the same goes for over, the, big, lazy, dog. Technically, these are all describing dog, but over is a preposition, so we're not going to draw an arrow there. The, big, lazy, all describe dog, so they go under dog here. Alright, hope that clears something up, because I forgot to do that earlier. Okay, so let's check. We have the quick brown fox jumped over the big lazy dog. Okay, that's it. We're done diagramming the sentence. Yippee! If you've been following along in your own paper, then you're done too. We're all done. Thank you for watching this video, and I hope that it helped you. If there's anything you'd like to say about this video, leave a comment below. I will read and respond to anything that I get, so thank you again, and have a wonderful rest of your day.